Hello people, it's Gino here from realeverydayenglish.com. I've got a little confession to make, and that confession is that the title of this video is actually a play on words. So I'm not actually going to be sharing tips for your English studies, but what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining all of the ways, not all of the ways, but the most common ways in which we use the word tip. Let's do this. Happy Sunday, welcome back to the channel. As always, if this is your first time here and you are a person who is trying to improve your English, become a more natural, confident English speaker, then you are definitely in the right place, and you may want to subscribe to the channel if you like today's content. And if you do subscribe, please make sure you hit the little bell notification so that way you will never miss a free upload. Okay, so let's jump right in. Let's not waste any time. So the first way in which we use the word tip, all right, is to express or to mean the pointed end or rounded end or extremity of something which is thin or tapering, all right? So let's take this pen, for example. You can see that this is the tip of the pen, so it's the very end of it, okay? Now, the word tapering means that something is progressively getting thinner and tapering off, okay? So you can see that the pen is wider here than it is at the top. So from here to here, the pen is tapering off, which means it's slightly getting thinner as it goes along. So you've got the tip of the pen. Another way that you can use it is the tip of a finger. So the very end of your finger is the tip of your finger. So that is your fingertip. You'll hear the phrase fingertip. But here's the thing, we have fingertips, but we don't say toe tips. No, never. But although we don't have toe tips, or we don't say toe tips, you can tiptoe. Now, tiptoe means to walk with your heels raised in the air so that you're walking very softly, all right? So if I walk normally and really heavily, you can hear my footsteps, all right? But if I tiptoe, I get right onto the balls of my feet and I tiptoe along, and then you can't hear me. So if you're tiptoeing, then you are walking in a way in which you don't want to be heard, okay? But you can also use it figuratively. I got it right first time. To express avoiding a problem, okay? So if you tiptoe around an issue, it means you're avoiding discussing it. So pulling all of this information together, you can see that we have fingertips, but we don't have toe tips. However, we can tip toe, but we can't tip finger. English is weird sometimes. Okay, another way you will hear the word tip used is to express a place or centre where you can take large items of waste to dispose of them, okay? So if I want to get rid of a sofa, for example, I can't throw a sofa into my normal bin that I have in my house. So I need to take it to the tip, all right? So you'll hear the phrase as well, rubbish tip, or you'll also hear people use the word dump, but I think dump is more American. We tend to use tip. So for example, I'm going to the tip because I need to take this sofa, and that means you're taking it to a place where you can dispose of it. But you'll also hear the word tip used in this kind of context to express that somewhere is a mess or untidy, okay? So because tip can be used to express a rubbish tip, where you go to dispose of unwanted items, I can say something like, let's say I go into my daughter's bedroom and it's untidy, there's toys everywhere. I can come back down and say, girls, will you go and tidy your room? It's a tip in there, and it means it's extremely untidy. Okay, moving on. The next way we use the word tip is the way in which it's used in the title for this video. And we use the word tip to express a useful piece of information, especially when that piece of information is helping you reach a desired goal, okay? So somebody could say to me, Gino, can you give me some tips for losing some weight? I've put some weight on, can you give me some tips? And I could say, well, yeah, watch what you're eating and go running every morning. So there are tips to help you to lose weight, okay? Or someone could say, Gino, can you give me some tips in general life? A general tip. And I could say, yeah, I'll give you a tip. Don't eat yellow snow. The next way we use tip is a small amount of extra money given to somebody who has provided a service for you on top of the money you owe them, for example, okay? So if I'm in a restaurant and the waiter or waitress is really nice, really pleasant, very smiley, provides good service, then when it comes time for me to pay the bill, let's say my bill is £50, then I might put £52 on the plate where I'm leaving the money, and the £2 is a tip, so it's like extra money, okay? And the next use I'm going to express is the use of the word tip as a verb, okay? And as a verb, it means to cause or to move something so that one side becomes higher than the other, okay? So for example, I can tip my head to the side. I'm tipping my head to the side, and you can see that this side of my head is higher than this side, okay? But you can you see this tub? It's like I've got loads of change in here, loads of loose coins, okay? I can also tip some of these coins into my hand. So that's a phrasal verb, tip into. Or you can simply say, I'm tipping the coins out onto the table or something like that, okay? Last example of the verb tip, you can see I'm balancing this pen on my finger, but if I press this side, then the pen will tip and eventually it'll tip over, which means fall off. Alright guys, I've just come to edit today's video, and something that I forgot to do. Somebody commented on a recent video asking me to pronounce certain words because they were unsure on the sound difference that we use here. And them words were the words law and law, okay? Here in Wigan, in this particular area of Greater Manchester, we would say law and law, but in central Manchester they would say low and law. And the other two words that they wanted me to pronounce were the words saw and saw, all right? Now here we say saw and saw, but in central Manchester, for example, they would say so and saw. And when I speak, I use a mixture of the both because I'm just completely inconsistent with the way I speak. But that comment was left by English is Fun, I think it is. So there you go, I've said it. And that is it for today's video, people. Please do not forget to leave some examples of these uses of the word tip in the comments below, and I'll check your use and make sure it's going okay. Make sure you're correct, in other words. Please feel free to share this video far and wide. I keep saying, but this channel is now gaining traction. I'm reaching more people are being helped by the content that I'm producing, and this makes me incredibly happy. So please feel free to share. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. God bless.